Brown.
maybe that's it.
Yo, you guys don't stop dissing me while we live and shit, bro.
Batter to the head. Batter to the head.
Yo, niggas hating already, bro.
I ain't hating, nigga. I'm just like
niggas steady.
I'm quoting his song.
All right, yo, we're live. Press Start Podcast, episode 16. Today we got a pretty good show. It's gonna be a shorter show than usual because man, I've got things to do, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the introductions. Yeah, we're missing a few people, but they're gonna join a little bit later since we're starting early today. So Fame, why don't you go ahead and do your introduction?
Yo, what's going on? Fame Entertainment from TICGN.com. Make sure you guys check out the website. We got a lot of content rolling out. We had a team out there at PAC South, and yeah, man, we got a lot of original content you guys don't want to miss. Make sure you guys check out the site, check out the channel. Yo, man, it's feel good to be here, man. Appreciate it.
Nick.
What up? This is Nick Godimus, the king of indies himself with TICGN.com. Thanks for having me, Kofi.
No problem, Ran.
Yo, what's going on? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million and the true king of indies.
Oh shit!
Oh,
what the
fired?
I wasn't expecting that.
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
Man,
I'm about to say.
Thanks for having me, Cole. I would do the podcast more, but TXR. Is
Yeah. I feel you. Yo, whenever you can, the days that we start early or the days that we reschedule, I'm gonna have you on. Don't worry, man. And we got Brandon Clark. Say what up.
Yo, what up, man? Be Money 101 from Tick Podcast. Go live every Thursday night at 11 p.m.
Man.
So, take over on Press Start tonight, man.
You sound like Johnny Five. What's up?
Yeah, you botting real heavy right now, bro. You're botting real heavy. So I don't know if you want to fix your mic and come back and do your intro again.
But y'all heard that he said Tick Takeover, baby.
And we got the Loaf King in the building. Say what up. So he's not gonna respond. All right, we got Weapon Wheel Podcast up in here. Mr. Weapon Wheel, say what up.
Yeah, you already know what it is. Weapon Wheel, Saturdays, 6 p.m.s. You better be watching because I don't know what else you're watching. TXR is cool too. Definitely check that out.
Oh, thank you.
But if you ain't watching Weapon Wheel or TXR or Tick, I don't know what else you're watching. Maybe
so no love for Press Start.
Maybe Press Start. Maybe. Nothing else.
Yo, my nigga, you've been on like 6 episodes in a row, bro.
Hey, listen, I gotta support my firstborn son. What you want?
Oh my God.
Train a child in the way he should go.
You know what, Kofi, you should be honored because he called everybody else his grandkids. He said he's the grandfather of a lot of game channels. So you should feel honored.
All right, maybe I should, because people be calling me the one anyway, so you already know what it is. Brandon, you want to do your intro again?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah,
yes,
perfect. It's perfect.
All right, good. It's Be Money 101 from the Tick Podcast. We go live every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like I said before, it's Tick Takeover, man. So I'm glad to be on with my other Tick guys.
All right, that's nice. All right, so we might have a few stragglers, join a little bit late. So they'll do their intros when they come in. And I wanted to have Fame and Nick on this episode because they actually got hands-on experience with the Nintendo Switch, BG's favorite platform that's coming out. And what's it called? I just want to get their impressions of it. So Fame, you want to, tell the people your thoughts of the Nintendo Switch, your hands-on thoughts?
Yo, yeah, no doubt. Like one of the first things we got to do was jump on Splatoon 2 with the Pro controller. And that thing was absolutely dope, man. It felt good. It played good. It actually looked really good on the screen. The fun fact was absolutely amazing. We got to touch on snipper clips. I actually didn't get to play it, but I actually listened to a recording of Nick actually playing it. And the controller, you would think, because we take it apart, it's a 2-player game, that they're super, super small. They'd be uncomfortable. I think Nick can attest to this. From what I looked at, it actually looked pretty okay. I mean, unless you got some super ridiculously big show size hands, you're actually going to be pretty comfortable playing those type of games. We got to touch on that. We got to touch Bomberman, which was not fun at all. I mean, I apologize. Shit. I don't know if you're a Bomberman fan, that shit was boring as hell.
It was. You didn't feel it?
We picked it up and put it back down, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Real talk. We picked it up and put it back down. Like that shit wasn't fun.
Have you played the old school games though, like the one on 64 and them games?
Yeah, back then. But with this, I had no aspiration to play it. Like it was like, oh, Bomberman, cool.
Did Play different though? Did it play different?
Not really. I mean, it's just bomber, man. It wasn't just like exciting. You know what I'm saying?
I see. I feel you.
And I guess that's another one of the reasons why I didn't touch Street Fighter 2. But it was another opportunity to pick up the controller, which, by the way, man, the controller feels amazing, especially in the handheld mode. You know, we got to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. If you guys look at my channel, I did a little bit of gameplay on it. But like that joint feels really good in your hands. Looking at the screen, a lot of people were worried about, how does the screen look because it's being 720p. Like, you got to really put in context the size of the screen, and looking at the game looks absolutely beautiful. The recording I did does not do it justice on how it looks in real life. But overall, the games ran great. The controllers feel really, really good in your hand. Everything's really responsive. One game they got a lot of hype. I don't know if Nick noticed this, but you heard a lot of screaming going on in PAX. It's because of ARMS. ARMS generated a lot of hype from a lot of people.
Yeah, I saw that.
And inside of PAX, believe it or not. And I was talking to Kofi earlier, and he was saying something about there might be a controller mode, but I didn't see that. People were planning with doing the motion control. I know a lot of people say the motion controlling is dead. I myself personally not really into the motion control thing, but it did generate a lot of hype. Unfortunately, I did get my hands on with the with Zelda at the media hour. We had the media hour, and by the time we finished playing Splatoon 2, which we actually, I don't know who the publication was behind us, Nick, we kicked their ass. By the time we did that, everything else, the media hour was up and the floodgates open. And so everyone, of course, they ran to Zelda because that's the hot game. And you was waiting an hour in a line just to wait in a 2-hour line. So you're looking at a 3-hour wait to play Zelda. And then on top of that, they had a big sign up, which was only on Zelda. They had to sign up where you could not record or even take pictures of Zelda. Everything else was free game for us for 5 minutes, but we could not record or do anything with Zelda. So unfortunately, I didn't have any gameplay of that. Just looking from the side, it looks exactly what we've seen before from I think it was IGN when they released their gameplay. The game looked dope. It looks fun. But overall, my impressions is, they really didn't. Either way, it's still gonna be a day one console for me because I know the fun factor is there. And for people who worrying about the controller or the Joy-Cons, you got nothing to worry about because them joints feel good, they're responsive. The HD rumble outlet is on point. You guys really gonna enjoy this console if you're really into the games that Nintendo provides you. And then on top of that, when we're going to a lot of different booths at PAX, one of the running themes were we're bringing our game to the Switch. We're bringing our game to the Switch. We're working on bringing our game to the Switch. Like throughout the show, there was even a game called Has Been Heroes, which was already confirmed for Switch. They had their own little section set up to play their game on the Switch, so it's ready to go now.
Oh shit!
I'm not even sure. I'm not sure why that's not releasing on March 3rd because they already had it up and ready to go and playable on the Switch. It had the Switch right next to their PCs while they were running the game. So. That was a running thing. So people worried about games not coming to the console. You got nothing to worry about because a lot of the games we played, a lot of games we saw at PAX South will be coming to the Nintendo Switch.
All right, so that's cool. We got a question in the chat from King Los. Shout out to King Los. He says, "How does the Joy-Cons feels in the grips?" You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that feel?
Yo, it feels great. Like if you really a stickler on having extra. What did I call? I can't think of the word, but it feels overall. It feels great. I had no complaints on how the controller fits in your hand, whether it's on the regular standard, whether it's the Pro controller, or whether it's in tablet mode. I had no complaints on how the controller felt. Everything responsive. Everything was really, really tight. It felt great.
All right, yo, we got Jack in the building. Jack, what's up?
Hey, what's popping?
You want to do your intro real quick because we got to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm so sad right now. All right, I got y'all with the intro. Hey, what's poppin', everybody? It's Jack Moo, man. The guru, giddy up. But you can also call me your pony commissioner.
Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome.
All right, so we know that Nick is a big Switch hater. He's been very advocate of this, and it's rightfully so. He has every right to be because if you're expecting it to be like your typical home console, you're gonna be disappointed no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So Nick has been very vocal about his hate for the Nintendo Switch. So after you playing it now, what's your honest thoughts of it? Do you still hate it as much, or?
So gonna clear it up, man. I don't hate like the Switch. I don't hate Nintendo or nothing like that. I don't hate them, man. It's just like they haven't done anything for me like in the last decade. That's the only thing I got with Nintendo. So people being hyped for Nintendo and stuff like that, I just can't relate to it because they have not provided me anything that I like. So, but I mean, overall, Nintendo did very well at PAX, in my opinion, as far as demonstrating their console. They had pretty cool setups to where they showed how you would use the Switch in real life. Like they had a little setup to where you're sitting on the train, you're sitting in a diner, you're sitting in a plane, playing the Switch. That was pretty cool. They're trying to promote that. The game itself, I mean, the little Pro controller, whatever, it was cool. I mean, it's nothing out the ordinary or whatever, but it does work. So I give them that. Playing Splatoon, it was fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I didn't have fun. I did have fun playing Splatoon, but that was like the only game that I did have halfway like fun with. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I mean, Snipper Clips.
Mario Kart?
Snipper Clips was cool. Mario Kart was cool, but the only thing with Mario Kart is it was basically the same as every other Mario Kart, just from the little bit I played. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging the whole game or nothing like that, but just from the little bit I played, it wasn't nothing like super impressive. It was pretty much the same, rinse, lather, repeat, which is my problem with Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, overall, besides the games, the hardware was impressive. I mean, the controller did felt good. The handheld felt good. It had a little weight to it. But it wasn't too heavy, so I could see how people could really, easily get around with this thing. I, for one, would never play anything like this in public because, look, you're gonna get robbed. I'm gonna say straight up.
Nobody robbing you for that garbage.
What'd you say?
Nobody robbing you for that garbage.
BG, I saw you live in Brooklyn,
I'm
bro.
saying,
I now would jab you for that one time, just looking at it.
Niggas gonna rob you for this thing just because, like, you playing it on the train and all this stuff in the diner and stuff. Niggas gonna rob you just because.
He's playing Mario. Get him.
People don't even steal phones no more like that. So I'm damn sure they ain't stealing no Nintendo product.
But they find out resale value though.
But I mean, the hardware, it was cool. It was impressive. The only problem with me with Nintendo is just the games. That's still my thing. Okay. It's still not a day one for me because the exclusives that they got, I'm not interested in. You know what I'm saying? And all those games that Fane was saying that are coming to the Switch, they're coming to PS4 anyway. So what's the point of me, going out buying a Switch because all those games, they're going to be on PS4. Now, I will say this. Another running theme with some of the devs was I hope this thing sells and doesn't fail like the Wii U.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that was another running theme because they were like they're excited for it, but in order for them to put their games on there, they were like they're hoping it sells so it's worth their time and effort. So this thing, in order for games to be on it and stay on it, Nintendo really gotta come with it. You know what I'm saying? Because if it fails in sales in the first few months, people ain't gonna put their games on it, and we're gonna have another Wii U on our hands. But overall, I'm not hating it. It was cool. The hardware was cool.
Coach, I can tell you one thing that was kind of weird though. When people would when I brought out the 1-2 switch, and they were playing this little cow game. It was just weird to see one dude on his knees, the other dude squatting like he's making trying to milk his cow. Like that was weird as hell. I was like, nah, I'm walking away from this. It was weird.
1-2 switch looks like hella garbage. It looks. Yeah, we got another guest who joined late. Shout out to Porter Rock. Want to do your intro real quick?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Porter Rock, host of 60 Frames No Lag. Hey, appreciate the invite. Appreciate to be among you gentlemen. What's going on?
What up?
All right, so basically that's all I wanted to hear about the Nintendo Switch. I wanted to get people who have actually tried it, their thoughts on it, and so far I'm liking what I'm hearing. It sounds like it's still a pretty good cool piece of technology. Handheld port, the handheld side of it, it seems like it's the way to go if you're gonna play this thing, and that's how I plan to use it anyways. So yeah, so we can move on. I want to talk about the Xbox Scorpio a little bit. All right, so Digital Foundry came out and kind of leaked the specs really, but it's from like an old document from July, I believe. Rand, is this? Am I correct? Is it an old document from like
Digital
July?
Foundry stuff? That yeah. That's from July, but I actually have the Scorpio timeline. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, so basically, they came out and talked about the performance and what it's gonna do, and they use terms like sparse rendering, which got a lot of people.
That's so wrong, dog.
They got a lot of people riled up because the Xbox Scorpio was supposed to be the 4K native machine, which a lot of people were claiming it to be. Me and BG and the people who also be gaming on PC know that it's gonna take a lot to get 4K out of like these consoles and stuff like that. So we were always skeptical of the Scorpio actually doing 4K native, especially 60 frames per second uncompromised. But now it looks like Microsoft is a little bit going the route of the Pro, like a little bit like the Pro. But obviously, it's going to be a much stronger console than the PlayStation 4 Pro, obviously. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be, so far hitting that 4K native like how some people have hyped.
Look, they're going to have 4K native games on this system.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
But all their first-party games will be 4K. Forza 7 is going to be 4K 60. There'll be third-party games that are 4K on there. Like I think people just get hung up on the fact that, what's inside the box, what GPU it has, or what CPU it has, or this, that, and the other. I just don't just wait until they unveil the system. Like whenever they unveil it, whether it's at X Fest or at some other thing later on or at E3, I'm sure they will detail the specifications of the system, and then people can go wild. Personally, I think it's rocking some sort of Puma variation CPU, and it probably has I want to say
what's this Puma? Is that the same shit as a Jaguar CPU, basically?
It's the second line after the Jaguar. But the only thing is though, AMD never made an 8-core version.
It's going to be Microsoft and AMD collab, and I think from everything I've heard that it's going to have a Vega GPU. Don't quote me on that, but that's just what I've been heard. That's just what I've heard. No.
Yeah, I've been hearing people usually that coming from the Xbox community, and I'll be surprised if it does, because isn't that supposed to be AMD's high end GPUs, like high end?
You got to understand with Scorpio, this shit has been locked in for years. Like
what do you mean by that?
Like the parts and everything. You understand, when you build a console, these things they're
never up to date in this of the same year.
Yeah, so the parts that are in Scorpio were decided upon last year. And they're just building it and getting the components and stuff. They're you guys remember last year when the PS Pro rumors all came out, and then there's people saying, well, Sony's going to have this one version and this other version, the red and the blue pill. Remember that? And they're like, they still don't know, even though it's coming out in 2 months, which version it's going to be. It's like bullshit. They knew a year beforehand, because that's how stuff works.
For sure. Yeah.
Scorpio was proposed January of 2014, and it was accepted January of 2015. It's been in the pipeline for a long time. I think it's been locked since early last year of what it is. Phil had an all hands meeting with everybody at Xbox to announce the system February of 2016 to everybody at Xbox, and it's whatever's in the system has been in there for a long time. They're not, so whatever it is whatever it's going to be. I just wish people would just wait until they properly unveil the system and with the specifications. Before people jump off a cliff, and stuff like that.
No, I be making tweets that get people riled up. I don't know why, but all I'm really trying to say is people should have their expectations in check. It seems like some people's expectations are kind of crazy high. Do you agree?
Of course, people their expectations are super high. Of course, the Xbox One was, in most people's opinions, a failure, and in Microsoft's opinion, a failure. And a lot of the fanboys out there want to be able to brag about the power narrative again. And Scorpio provides them with that narrative. When it's more powerful than the PS4 Pro, they're going to be like, our games are more powerful. And that's exactly what... I mean, for me, I don't really care. I want more games. And if Microsoft's going to give me an option to play my games at 60 frames per second, all of them, that'd be great. But I don't think that's the case. I think most of it's going to be 4K resolution, which I don't really particularly care about. But the people are pinning their hopes to Scorpio that it's going to drastically change the situation for Microsoft. And
you don't think
maybe
so
it will? I think they'll do better. But I think any scenario where suddenly they're on top and Sony's begging for life is unrealistic. I think Microsoft will I think they'll sell more, and I think Sony will just keep on selling what they normally do. So it's just it's a healthy thing though, because you want all the systems to sell extremely good, so they can sell software, so developers can make more money and make games for all of us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Also, the Ori and the Blind Forest dev. Let's talk a little bit of what this guy said. So basically, he was coming at the PlayStation 4 Pro a little bit, calling it a half upgrade. Jack Move, how do you feel about that? Is it kind of true?
The Pro?
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, people that was going in expecting goddamn, 4K 60, mind blown. Like, you're not gonna get that, bro. And they were saying it from the beginning. It's up to the developer. Same shit they saying with the Scorpio, and it just depends. Like, some games look great, like Tomb Raider, and I think The Last of Us look great, but some games ain't gonna, have that same effort put behind it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, because Fallout 4 got recently a patch, a pro patch, and it seems like they're going for graphical fidelity, which is good. Which is nice. They said they're gonna increase like the textures and stuff like that and make the resolution 1440p. But yet there's no 60 frames per second. Like, is this gonna be a trend? Like with these, new console refreshes that like they're just gonna be pushing for the highest resolution, and we're gonna not get 60 frames. BJ, what do you think? You think that's what these guys are gonna push with these new consoles? Really, just the resolution?
Well, the higher res is easier to go for than the 60 frames, because with the 60 frames, like from what I know, that's pretty much like going through the whole game again and like kind of redoing it to make sure each section runs at 60. So I just think they go for the resolution because it's easier, but also.
So how does that work?
The open world games are harder to get to 60.
Yeah.
It's another thing to look at. It's easier to push graphical fidelity at 30 frames than 60 frames.
Yeah.
And you can advertise graphics, but you can't advertise 60 frames. Like when you look at a commercial, you don't be like, "Ooh, that's smooth 60 frames." No, you look at graphics. You look at the presentation.
Yeah, I feel you.
So unless the gameplay absolutely needs 60 frames, like Call of Duty or like racers or sports games, if the game could be playable at 30, the developer's going to shoot for 30 and push that higher graphic fidelity, because that's what falls. Casual sees graphics. That's what they see.
Facts.
As far as what he said, I don't have no problem with what he said. I'm just mad he apologized. I just don't like when, and he was probably pressured a little bit because
your position that you're in, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe your job,
that's something that could come back and backfire. Because I'm sure he might work with Sony in the future, regardless. Because Moon Studios isn't. I know they're close to Microsoft, but they're not owned. I think I don't remember, but
no, they're an independent studio.
Okay, so yeah, that's probably why he did. I just don't like when developers back off from what they say. That's my only problem. Like, listen, that's how you feel. I like you if you feel that way. I don't like you for backing down from your statement.
Yeah, but sometimes like that one developer says so, and then another developer be like, "Yo, bro, you do realize we're making this game for Sony, right?" And he's like, "Ah, fuck." Let me get that done. Let me act like a politician. That's what happens. That's why you gotta be careful with Twitter. If you on your fields, just put your phone to the side and look at the bigger picture, because you might say something that you can't take back.
Yeah.
Just a quick snippet on developer speak. Like I said, we were just at PAX South, and speaking of developers, one of the running things, because we keep saying running thing developers is, they try to get their games on Xbox, and Microsoft not really playing ball. We could talk about graphics and fidelity and all that stuff all day, but if you're not really putting games on this console, nothing else really matters. And like I said, one of the things we were seeing, from different developers throughout PAX was, I submitted my game to ID at Xbox, and it's been a year and they haven't got back to me.
Wow.
Not playing ball, or somebody upstairs, is not letting us get through. So that was a running theme at PAX is, I want my game on Xbox, but Xbox not playing ball.
All right, Rand is he knows the 1-2 people and stuff like that, so, and he's very knowledgeable about Xbox. So what do you think is the cause of this? The reason why?
Honestly, I have no idea. Like ID at Xbox, they're kind of their own thing. I know a few people there, but this is the first I've heard about it from Fame, so I'll actually hit those people up I know at ID Xbox and ask them what's going on. But from what I was told, like ID Xbox is supposed to be easy to get into, like to get your game on Xbox, unless Microsoft is changing their position. Like maybe they feel there's too many games coming out now. I mean, this week there's like 6 games coming out on Xbox One. Maybe they see all that hubbub about what the Secret Life of Black Tiger on PlayStation. Like maybe they decided to curate the store. Like something? Yeah, maybe they decided to curate the store more. I don't know. It's definitely worth finding out what the deal is, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I definitely don't want to throw no developer names out there because that's just bad for business. But Nick was with me pretty much the whole time out there, and he was pretty much doing the same thing. There was even some of the games where we know they're on Steam or coming to Steam, going to PS4, and they were talking about we're coming to Switch as well, but not Xbox because
those devs, they miss Xbox Live Arcade, bro. A lot of them mentioned that they miss it. Yeah, they miss it, and it's just because they want their games on as many platforms as possible. Like, let me tell you something: the PS4 and the PC are a given. Like out there, it was all PS4, PC. Like everybody is like PS4, basically, as far as consoles is concerned, is the darling. Like that's the one that everybody just loves because they're so easy to work with.
One Xbox out there, and a bunch of Xbox controllers. Everything else is on PS4 and PC.
Oh, for real? That's how PAX was like?
That's how PAX was, yeah.
Everything PS4, huh?
Yep.
I think Sony is they're really going hard with making it easy for developers and indie developers just to bring their games over, I guess, then, huh? Whatever they're doing.
They learned from the PS3. They saw how much that was a disaster for developers. You know what I'm saying? So they learn from that. But on the same topic, what's up with Mass Effect, BioWare not supporting Scorpio? Anybody got some insight onto that?
They don't have any Scorpio dev kits yet. Dev kits haven't gone out yet.
Really?
Hell, Rare doesn't even have dev kits for Scorpio yet. I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about what you're going to do with Scorpio when you don't have
right? Yeah,
the other stuff.
That's fair enough. So, my real quick question: so with the Xbox Scorpio, is it going to be like similar to the PS4 Pro? Is it just going to be like patches like that we're going to get for these games? Like, just a Scorpio patch? Is this how it works?
I honestly have no clue what they're going. I know internally there's a lot of people pushing for the 4K stuff on every game as much as possible, but there's also a group of people who want options like PS4 Pro. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see which camp wins out on that.
You think they sit back watching and seeing what Sony's doing?
Yeah, totally. They totally are. They probably want to get the feel for the lay of the land or whatever. But there's always these type of things in these corporations. Like there's one group that wants it one way, another group that wants it another way, and then
you have to cater to them all. Though. You have to find a way to cater to them. That's how I see it. Because like I'm just really curious how Microsoft is going to come out and reveal this console and really like actually display it properly. We all seen how the PS4 Pro try to display that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't translate well through the stream. You know what I'm saying? Like most people couldn't even tell what they were looking at and see, the real upgrades and stuff like that. So I wonder how Microsoft's gonna combat this. You know what I'm saying? Like the same issue really, conveying the message.
I really think Phil Spencer in his tweet, which a particular person in his community went all Stretch Armstrong and
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
I rocks with him, but he went all Stretch Armstrong with that tweet. I think Phil showed a lot of confidence by him saying, wait until we show you these games. Wait till we show the game, because what he's pretty much saying is you're going to want to pre-order once you see these games. To me, I was like, okay, they really finna show some stuff. These games really finna look good. They finna show some more games because he's telling you, don't worry about pre-ordering right now. Let me show you these games.
Yeah, and I think what you'll see is like when they actually show up.
Oh, I think you
in the right direction of what they.
Okay, yo, Finn, you kind of cut out for a bit. You went a little bit body. All right, Brad, you wanna drop? Say what you saying?
I was gonna say. I think when they actually do show it off, they've been talking about the graphical fidelity and how it'll be different on the Scorpio. What they'll probably do is show like an Xbox One standard game, and then have like that coat of paint, like film go over the top of it. And you'll see the the major difference. It'll be a lot different from what PlayStation did when they're like, let's turn on HDR, and like people are like, what are you showing me? Like,
you think they're going to downplay it like that though?
Yeah, honestly, like the best way they can do it is definitely how Brandon is saying. Like if they do like side by side comparisons and there's actual like like high versus like high and ultra textures differences, like maybe you could see the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like maybe they do it that way. Then maybe
people that got the regular Xbox gonna be feeling the type of way about that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But I guess it is what it is. But I guess
were like feeling that way when the Pro came out.
Yeah,
but they ain't really do that. They was just like it's gonna improve it.
Yeah, that's one thing I already said with the reveal. Sony should have done a side by side because if you're trying to sell a product that's more powerful, then you have to do a direct comparison. You know, it's hard enough that you're using a 1080p TV to try to determine something in 4K. You know, it's kind of like it's like trying to listen to a super stereo through an analog phone. You're not gonna get the stereo when you listen to the phone, you know?
That's what I'm saying, because I'm really curious how Microsoft is gonna really approach this, because you're revealing the Scorpio. It's not gonna have no like special new UI. It's probably not gonna have like a a different controller. I'm pretty sure like everything's gonna be compatible with your original Xbox, except the games are just gonna look better. You know what I'm saying? So for them, they have to convey this message better than how Sony did the Pro. And I'm just thinking about it as like they have a big task ahead of them.
I think I'm 99% sure there'll be a new UI for Scorpio.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I got just a quick random question for Ryan. So do you think this console is gonna be named in the line of the Xbox One? Do you think it's gonna be like Xbox One something? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we've had that discussion too. I don't know if they just would. I'd rather just have them name it Xbox or something, right? Just
so you think
get rid of the Xbox One branding, because there's a lot of negative connotations to the Xbox One branding. But if you got to keep Xbox One, Sony took the Pro. You could call it Xbox One Elite, although they do have a version of that.
Yeah, they made a bundle.
If they want to push 4K, you could call it Xbox One 4K.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a lot of real shit talking.
Oh yeah,
but it's not doing no 4K.
Yeah,
it's not doing 4K in some games. There's gonna be a lot of shit talking. I could tell you that much, though.
That's probably why Sony didn't go, because a lot of people thought it was gonna be the PS4K, which sounds
that sounds good too. A lot of people
expectations too damn high.
Yeah, but it's not doing that. So
it's a freaking $400 console. I knew it was gonna be 4K.
Yeah,
they kept it simple. They call it PS4 Pro, which is it's a bland name, but it's a simple name. You can't really have too much expectation out of it.
I think the only reason they keep the Xbox One branding is because we'll be able to play Xbox One games on it, and then all the other merchandise is still compatible with it. So I think they keep the Xbox One branding and just call it Xbox One something else.
And I got another question.
Scorpio.
I think they have to get rid of the Scorpio. I'll tell you the truth. The Scorpio name sounds kind of lame to me. Like Scorpio, really? You mean like the code name? The code name, I don't know. It hasn't grew on me yet. You know what I'm saying? I felt like even Nintendo's NX shit sounded like better. You know what I'm saying? Like the Scorpio shit hasn't grew on me. Like, yeah, I don't know about y'all though, but if the console is actually named Scorpio, I'll be like,
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it. I think it's just their code name. They're for sure gonna name it like Xbox One, something else. It was what else did I wanna touch upon? Okay, so we know there's a few games on the Pro that have like options, right, for you to play 60 frames per second. Like Neo is one, Tomb Raider is one, The Last of Us is one. Is there any others? That's my problem.
I don't know.
That's my problem. Like I feel like
I know Rhyme will be one.
I feel like that's the most disappointing thing about the Pro is that like I felt like we should have more like 60 frames per second games on it,
Is that a developer like issue?
I think that's a developer problem, because some games I know the Pro should be able to run 60 frames per second. Like that Fallout 4 should be able to run 1080 60 on the Pro.
They run like shit on everything though. Like
but like I said, if you go on the internet and you go on YouTube and you just like search up like real basic PCs, right, running this shit at like 1080 60, you know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering, why is there not an option for that?
You heard what Fallout 4 getting for the Pro though, right?
Yeah, they're getting the 1440p like better draw distance.
Bro, they said that shit 58 gigabytes. What the hell?
But I mean, even the budget PCs, like even budget PCs are stronger than the PS4 Pro, though.
I guess so.
Like a budget PC's level.
Yeah,
it still ain't. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, so like I feel like that's probably like the only like disappointing thing when it comes to the PlayStation Neo, and I want to see how Xbox handles this with Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if there's gonna be more options. There's gonna be more 60 frames per second games and things like that. So I guess we have to actually sit back and wait and see on how these developers move, with their games and shit.
I mean, because I mean they're trying to do this whole get closer to being a PC. So why not just give it PC options?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Would you guys actually like to see that on your consoles? Would you guys like to see high settings or high shadows, low shadows, high tessellation, ambient inclusion? Jack, would you like to see all that bullshit on your console?
To a certain extent, not all.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't want to see all that.
So do you prefer how the people did with Neo, how it's just like action mode, movie mode? Do you prefer?
Yeah, like a couple options. I don't need all that, filtering 2x, 4x. I don't need all that shit.
Yeah, you see, we console peasants. We are simple folk. We don't need all that.
I need FOV though, because like Halo, bro. I need a FOV slider.
Going back to that shit. Yeah, going back to that shit. Yeah,
a gun taking up your whole screen.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it kind of does with Halo 5. Like after playing a lot of games on PC and getting that option, like I remember when we were returning to Halo 5, playing that shit a little bit. I bodied Nick. I think Nick played with us at least one time.
Please stop. Please stop.
Please stop. You're unplayable after you play a first-person shooter on PC because of the FOV.
Yeah, the FOV is the gun kind of takes up a little bit too much space. But I feel like with Halo 6, that might actually change though, since it's probably gonna be on Xbox Play Anywhere most likely. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that might change with the Halo series, that we might actually get a field of view option, because we got one for Gears, right? So that was pretty good. And I want to talk about exclusives. So the fact that Xbox Play Anywhere is in effect, is this hurting the Scorpio? Because some people feel like a few games should still stay exclusive. I even heard BG say that like he feels like Halo 6 should stay on Xbox. BG, you want to touch up on that?
I think it will.
I mean, like, if they're still concerned about, having something, because you still do need like a killer app for the console specifically. If you do want to sell, the console itself and not just sell the software. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like they would need to keep something exclusive.
Yo, but that would be some bullshit. Like if they drop like every single game out on Play Anywhere, and like Halo 6 comes out and that's not Play Anywhere, I would actually be fucking pissed, yo.
Yeah,
they're in a tough place because they want to sell they do still want to sell the Xbox One, especially the Scorpio. But you kind of sold people this dream and said that everything is coming, to.
Well, Microsoft already backtracked on that. Didn't they already say? Didn't they backtrack and say, well, it was just a game shown at E3?
Yeah, but then more got announced. But more got announced, and they're coming to play. I feel like every game is gonna come. I think they were just trying to say that for like the Kinect games, maybe like those few games, there's the odd ones. But I'm pretty sure they said everything going forward is gonna be also on Windows 10. Even like the next Forza game, I heard that like there's gonna be the motorsport game is also gonna be on Windows 10 as well.
If they backtrack like that, wouldn't that like
no, but I'd be cheesy if they did though. Like, come on, like if you're sticking with if they're gonna stick with this route, like I feel like they gotta stick.
But wouldn't that piss off like the PC gaming like community like that?
Not
like,
really.
I mean, you just kind of going back and forth.
What do you mean?
Minute, like I would say, for example, Halo 5, right, was on PC, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it's not.
Only Forge mode.
Only Forge mode. Okay. So if you take away, like, let's say, for example, Gears, and you put Gears, the next Gears, Scorpio only, and you start putting like exclusives for Xbox Scorpio only that were planned to come to PC or were on PC at one time, wouldn't that piss PC gamers off? Like just the back and forth?
Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying. They gotta stick with it. They're gonna do this Xbox Play Anywhere thing. They gotta stick with it and just drop the games on there, or like don't go ahead with this shit. Like why have some here then some there? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make sense to me.
I would say that I think they're gonna go with the Play Anywhere because I mean, by any means I'm not the biggest representative of the Xbox community, but I don't think the decision they made actually hurt the brand as much as people think.
Yeah. I don't think so either though. I feel like
they just sold 1.5 million consoles in December. The only problem is everyone's comparing it to the PS4, and the PS4 is just beasting like a juggernaut. I mean, if you compare any console next to the PS4 at this point, it would look like shit in terms of sales or whatever.
Yeah, like the PS4 is doing like really, really well. Like
Y'all continue to preach that gospel.
of course, Nick likes that talk.
Yeah, PS4 at this point is surpassing PS2 metrics. So you know what I'm saying. So any console will look like crap next to the PS4, but the Xbox in its own is doing better than the previous consoles, at least in terms of penetration, whatever. Maybe not in some regions, but I don't think this PC thing is hurting Xbox.
No, the PC thing doesn't hurt it at all. They're pretty confident there isn't much crossover between PC gaming and console gaming. They I've had that conversation with them, and like the crossover, the ones who identify as both is like extremely small minority. Yeah. And Microsoft they're transitioning to games as a service and Xbox as something that goes beyond a console. It's a service that you could access anywhere. That's their long-term goal, just like it is with Windows. Like the idea of buying a console to play video games might be like ancient news 10 years from now. You may not like the goal for Sony and Microsoft 10 years from now is to sell you a $50 fucking stick that you plug into your TV like Hulu or Roku, and that you stream your games on from their servers. Like that is like everything they're striving towards being, because then you don't have to sell the boxes and everything's done server side by them, right? But in the meantime, you have to sell the systems, and Microsoft is trying to leverage Windows 10, which has 800 million people on it, right? Mm-hmm. So they don't care if you buy a Scorpio. They don't care if you buy an Xbox One S. They don't.
It seems like the smart thing to do, because you have a platform with so much potential.
Well, yeah, they want to get those customers potentially to go into the Windows 10 store, and they're using Xbox One exclusives as the way to do that.
Yeah, and it's smart.
The bait. It is smart, because essentially they want to be Steam. Steam doesn't make it, like Valve doesn't make any games anymore. And the reason Valve doesn't need to make any games anymore is because they're rolling in money selling other people's games. They take a 30% cut of everything on the store, and Microsoft wants in on that as well. They just want to have a storefront where everybody puts their games on the store, and Microsoft takes 30%. Like Microsoft doesn't care if you buy an Xbox Scorpio or an Xbox One. They just want you in their ecosystem, and to keep you in their ecosystem so they can sell you the games and the subservices and the accessories and the subscriptions. It's not just about Scorpio. Like, they already know Scorpio is going to be is going to get outsold by the Xbox One S next holiday. It's just a given. It's probably going to sell just about in the same way the PS4 Pro sold, which is tepid. It's kind of hard to sell a $400 or $500 product in the holidays when the cheaper version is going for $200. Mm-hmm. People go for price at that point. Yeah, and the only people who are going to buy Scorpio or the Pro are the super hardcore of each of the fan bases. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So do you feel like, you see how the Xbox Scorpio has been marketed as like or just nobody's left behind? That's how it's being marketed. It's basically an enhanced Xbox One. Do you feel like things would be different if this was, advertised like as a totally different console with its own set of games that wouldn't be able
I'm
to
selfish. I would love for Microsoft to come out and say Crackdown 3 is exclusive to Scorpio. Fuck everybody else. I want my exclusives on my Scorpio. I'm selfish like that though. So
the thing is like, I'm just afraid that games need to be made into parameters that like it has to work on the Xbox, the OG Xbox as well. So it might hold back what kind of games that can be developed.
You see, they built UWP. Okay, so the big battle that's going on right now is Microsoft is going to devs and trying to convince them to dev first on Scorpio with the UWP title. Sony is trying to convince devs to obviously dev first for them, right, on the PS4. Microsoft is saying, look, you dev on UWP, it basically takes care of what you're talking about. It takes care of the Windows 10 version. It automatically would take care of the Scorpio version. And it'll take care of the Xbox One S and the Xbox One version with minimal to like no work. Mm-hmm. The problem is in that scenario, Sony has 20 million more customers. So money talks and bullshit walks.
Yeah.
But that's the big battle going on right now behind the scenes, is they're trying to convince their who's going to dev on and lead on first.
All right, we got we got our last late straggler up in here. Jay, man, say what up to the people.
Hold on. I ain't late, brother.
I'm early. You're on time.
and I'm on time, and you're gonna start it early on me. You do this on purpose, my boy.
No,
That's sabotage.
I have plans.
It
I'm
was
sorry.
Central.
I have plans. I'm sorry, bro. I have plans. So,
What's cool? What's going on, everybody?
yeah.
What up?
Okay, so
Like,
yeah, go ahead, fam. Say what you're saying.
and I said, like, do you guys expect to see more third parties on UWP, like, or Xbox Play Anywhere? 'Cause, like, I was shocked to see a game like Resident Evil be Xbox Play Anywhere. Like, you guys not see that as a trend going forward?
That was when I seen that was cool. Like when I seen that, I'm like, yo, this is actually pretty dope that it's in the W10 score. As long as the game runs well, just like the Steam version, no problems. Then something else hit me. One shout out to my boy Pierce. Yeah, when he hit me up, but he's like, yo, you could get the PC version for like $30. I'm like, oh fuck the W10 version. that's the only problem. Like, that shit
and
was
the Windows.
Yeah, go ahead.
Windows is getting a bad, rep anyway right now. Like
with Tomb Raider, Quantum Break, those games
people are
run
staying
good.
away from it because, I mean, they even had to take the Call of Duty was on there, and they had
Yeah,
to
I heard
take
Call
it
of
down.
Duty was bad.
Yeah, that was dumb how you couldn't cross-play with Steam on Windows 10 and Steam or Call of Duty. Like, that was dumb.
And the thing is, like, it's really hard to record directly from the Windows app. That's the problem. Unless you're using the Windows app itself. And nobody really wants to use that shit. It's garbage compared to third-party apps like NVIDIA Experience or Gorillas or it's garbage compared to those.
Yo, that's all. Yo, VG, that's exactly what they have to like get down packed. Like, I don't know why a software company like Microsoft just can't make this work. Doesn't it seem like it's so basic? Like, yo, I want to be able to use my Fraps. I want to be able to use GeForce Experience. I want to be able to use all of this shit. But like that shit just don't work with these games. I want to be able to just live stream just like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like someone had hit me up trying to ask me, like, they were trying to live stream Recore. And at first, like, I was trying to figure out, at first they didn't tell me it was Recore. They was like, they can't get this game to stream at all. And I was like, hold on, what the fuck is the game? And they was like, Recore. I'm like, Windows game, not fucking working.
You know what you gotta do to stream? I think you gotta
desktop mode.
Stream your desktop, then go over to the game after. You know what I'm saying? Which is like,
create some other problems. So it kind of sucks. I think it might have something to do with OpenGL or something. I'm not sure.
But yeah, the thing I can't wrap my brain around is like I said, a big company, software company like Microsoft. Why is it so hard for them to build a storefront? Why is it so hard for them just to get these basic things running? That's what I just don't understand.
I don't know if it's that. I was thinking like they wanted people to use their own recorder. I don't know.
Because like that's why I'm trying to figure out myself. Like you would think that like a company like Microsoft, like the maker of this huge, widely used operating system, like should be able to make a easy storefront, right? Just to let me even. Well, I think it got a little bit better. I remember first using the Windows 10 store, like it wouldn't even let me select where to download my game and shit. But I think that's fixed now. You know what I'm saying? Like just a whole bunch of little annoyances about it. That's what turns people off. So they just need to get this shit fixed. Like just get it working. Like I have no problem. I'm not like no Steam fanboy. Like I don't really give a shit about that. Like I would buy my games off the Windows 10 store if it was just as good as the Steam version. I just don't want no problems. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some people on PC, they're like they don't fuck with other
it's either Steam or die.
It's out of Steam or I'm not fucking with it. You know, I'm not like that. I'm not like.
If it's a multiplayer game and the communities are separated, people are going to get it on Steam also because it's like who's going to be on that Windows version? You and like 10 other people.
That already happened with Call of Duty. Microsoft had to refund a lot of it because it wasn't
crossplay.
Yeah, so people attempted to buy it. But there was nobody playing, so they refunded it and went back to Steam, and that's going to be a hard.
I still think Xbox Play Anywhere is a good thing for consumers that want it. Like it doesn't offer me anything because I don't game on PC, but the idea of getting like cross-buy. I mean, I know PlayStation had that for a long time with Vita or whatever, but I mean, it's a good thing. Like if you want, it's just a matter of can you get people moving over for Steam, and that's the problem Microsoft faces is that Steam has been here for a long time. And I don't really see anybody switching to Windows 10, so they're in a rock and a hard place,
Yo, that honestly, the Xbox Play Anywhere and this whole thing, like your ideas is good, just the execution, is kind of shaky. You feel me? Like the whole idea of Xbox Play Anywhere, like this is very good. You know what I'm
And
saying?
it's not even only Steam they're fighting against. They're going against
Origin. And shit like
Origin, which Origin was a good service,
Yeah,
and
Origin got better though.
People were still hard on Origin, even though it was good. So imagine how hard it is going to get people to go over to Windows when Origin was good, and people were like, nah.
But I feel like, BJ, I feel like people are full of shit. Like, look, honestly, if Halo 6 drops on the Windows 10 store, there's nothing wrong with the version. It runs good. It's well optimized. Like, what's your beef in buying it there? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, but why is there even a question if Halo 6 isn't going to be Xbox Play Anywhere? I mean, they put Gears day one on the thing.
Yeah.
Of course Halo's going to be on.
But,
like,
but you know what I'm saying?
You got to think about it. Think about it like this. What does Microsoft's games feature nowadays?
Multiplayer.
Well, besides multiplayer.
Actions.
Microtransactions.
Okay.
Right? So that's why Halo, okay, they will separate the multiplayer community. Like, it'll be PC versus PC, Xbox versus Xbox, maybe a social playlist or something where you can. But they want people to play on that stuff. And then they want people to buy the rec packs and the microtransaction stuff, because it makes them shit tons of money. I mean, that's basically what Gears is doing right now. And I don't know if you saw, but so Gears now has crossplay with Xbox One, the PC and the Xbox One, basically because nobody's playing Gears 4 on the PC.
Yeah, so
I mean, I don't know. You got to build up the store somehow. Like Microsoft had, like. They have to build up the store.
They got to
stick with it. And knowing Microsoft's track record, they're going to stop at some point. They've done this before, but I think for sure, unless Xbox Play Anywhere is dumped before Halo 6 comes out in 2018.
I'll be so vexed. I would actually be vexed.
It'll be a Play Anywhere title.
Because I really enjoy playing these Xbox titles in better frame rate. Like I was fortunate to play, Recore. Yeah, it wasn't such a good game, but I was playing that at least at like really high frames. I was enjoying myself. So I would actually be pissed if they switched up the Xbox Play Anywhere. I like the direction that they're going. I think they should just stick with it. You feel me? You can't always start something and drop it right after. Like, yo.
Yeah, but I think
go ahead.
To like Fame's question, I don't know if they'll see many third-party games, be Play Anywhere. I think the Resident Evil thing was more of a Capcom relationship thing. You know what I mean? They put both Dead Rising games on Xbox first, and that kind of got that relationship built. So Resident Evil, they gave him a little high five, and they did Play Anywhere. But I don't see if
the storefront was popping, like I could see it though, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like if the storefront was actually like popping and a lot of people use it, I don't. Why wouldn't like third party developers like decide to put their games on the storefront? You know what I'm saying? Or go that route.
That's a good point because like right now it may not be a big deal, but let's say 5 years from now, 4 years from now, if let's say Scorpio does go to a huge fan base and now developers like, oh shit, we pretty much giving away free games on PC and it's not selling that well on Steam. Because as soon as you buy an Xbox version, you get a PC version for free, and then they change their policy. Gamers would be like, hey, what are you doing? For the last 2-3 years, this was Play Anywhere. Now you're not doing it no more. So I wouldn't be surprised if the publishers actually are having these conversations in the boardroom and trying to look at long term. They may be like, is it a really good idea to make a game on Xbox and then it's free on PC? How would that impact Steam? Or their sales on Steam? Like, how would that change their bottom dollar? Because at the end of the day, these developers or publishers, they don't care so much about the console. They only care what they get out of the console in terms of money. That's what they care about. They don't care about PS3 or PS4. It's all about what they make off of PS3, PS4, and Xbox One. So that's another thing that'll be interesting. What type of conversations that's happening in the boardroom about this Play Anywhere?
Yeah, so like definitely like the way that things are going is definitely very interesting. Like I'm really curious to see how everything plays out when this new console drops. I wonder what kind of impact it's gonna have in the community with gamers. Is it gonna be like the PS4 Pro? I feel like a part of me tells me it's gonna be like the PS4 Pro a little bit. Like like what kind of impact, like a lukewarm impact that just like the hardcore people get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious to see how these games run. You know what I'm saying? I got a question for Rand since we got Rand in the building. I've been a little bit vocal on Twitter about, Microsoft not really showing their games and what they have to offer. So How do you feel like about it? Am I crazy for wanting to see more of like Crackdown 3, State of Decay, and shit like that? Because these are games that are coming out this year. You feel me?
No,
So
I mean you're not crazy, especially.
Like, why haven't we seen like something like when are they gonna market this or when are they gonna start showing gameplay? Because usually with big games, they start showing gameplay like a little bit, like or even way earlier than this. You know what I'm saying? And we haven't seen really much from these titles. I'm not saying they're canceled or they're not coming out, but like
State of Decay right now is currently being played at Microsoft in a near final build, so that game's almost done. Okay. It might even come out right after E3. Probably might even be a summer title. Yeah, I mean, dude, you're not the only person to say that. A lot of people, especially after PSX, where Sony showed exactly. We know what Sony's lineup is essentially from now till 2019 for the most part, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, they look at Xbox and they say, well, we know what's coming for 2017, but we don't know what's coming beyond 2017 besides Halo, Gears, and Forza. And a lot of people are sick of Halo, Gears, and Forza. So people want to see Crackdown because it's a title that they unveiled in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, right? 2014.
You only got like tech demo footage of it,
The problem is Microsoft has one event a year. They used to do Gamescom, but it seems like they don't anymore. Sony has multiple events where they show off different things. They have the PlayStation Experience, so they just have more stuff to show off because they have more developers who make games for them. You're not the only one. Like, I would love to see Crackdown 3. I think what is going to happen is that Microsoft will have an event in May where they will officially reveal the Scorpio, and you'll have Crackdown 3 re-reveal or whatever, and a few third-party games. And then E3 will be mostly about the games that are coming out. I'm sure there'll be a Halo 6 teaser. Other than that, I don't know what games Microsoft has up their sleeves. I don't know what like second-party deals they have, but it's going to be interesting.
Since you know a couple of people, do you see that they got like? Have you heard anything like they got like some games under the belt, or is the Scorpio going to be the big thing at E3, or do you even think the Scorpio will be revealed at E3?
I think Scorpio will be revealed beforehand. And then I don't think they'll. Well, okay, so there's two schools of thought here. The school of thought that says Microsoft has no games, so they would reveal Scorpio at E3 to cover up a 20-minute gap because they don't have anything else to show.
That's what I was thinking too.
I guess we'll find out if that's true. I honestly think they'll show it off in May because I think they want to get the rub. They want to get like what Nintendo got, like where people only are talking about Nintendo and Nintendo's the Switch or what the PlayStation got beforehand. As far as like, because you look at what their first party studios are doing, and we know what they're doing. Rare's working on Sea of Thieves. 343 is working on Halo. Forza, Turn 10 is working on Forza 7. A lot of their studios, exactly what they're doing. It's possible they show off Playground's new game, because they said they're working on something new. Maybe they show off that. Maybe Microsoft shells off money for the new Splinter Cell game, which is coming out at the end of the year. Maybe they have a marketing deal for that. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff is surprises, and I'm sure a lot of the stuff will like leak towards the end of the year. But it's I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll find out. It's going to be interesting though.
I just wanna go around with the panel and get everyone's thoughts. Are you guys like tired of the hardware talk, Brandon? You wanna touch upon this? Are you tired of the hardware talk right now? You just wanna like just talk about games and see the games that are coming in the future, or you're pretty interested still in the hardware talk and shit?
Man, I've been saying this for a while that I could care less about the Scorpio until they actually show it off. You know what I mean? It's all about the games for me, and I'll play games wherever they're at. So if it's Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, I'm usually there to check it out. So the hardware talk I'm kind of done with. I'm ready for Microsoft to show us what games they have beyond the stuff that they have announced. I think they have maybe one surprise just based on their history. They usually release like 3 or 4 games towards the end of the year. So we know Crackdown is coming and Sea of Thieves is coming and Forza will be there. So we got to see what that wild card is. But I'm ready to stop talking about it and rather just see them show it off, and then let's get back to the games, man.
Yeah, Fame, you feel the same way?
Yeah, man. I'm pretty much sick of it. Because at the end of the day, I'm playing my games. A lot of people that's really talking about the hardware, not even gonna buy the shit to begin with. So it don't even really matter. I don't get why people, or even doing that. So at the end of the day, man, if the game is somewhere you want to play those games, you're gonna buy the console. If you ain't gonna buy the console, then why the fuck do you care if it's playing 4K or whatever the case may be?
I feel you. J-Man, the same. I know you buy your games. You probably tired of all this hardware talk on both sides and shit.
I can sit here and lie and say I'm tired of it. I'm actually not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like hearing about rumors and speculations. I'm a forum dumpster diver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like hearing about that. I mean, of course, games always first, and we've been hearing about these these 4.5 Scorpio like leaks since like March of last year. So it is going on too long, and then Scorpio doesn't come out to the fall, so it's gonna be a while.
A lot of rumors and speculation. I know Jack is probably happy with what he's playing on the PlayStation. I lie. Right now, PlayStation kind of going hard with the games. I can't even front, Like we can't even front about this. They kind of going hard with the software. I lie.
They definitely are.
Like we got like how many games in the past couple of days? Like it's been ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Like 4 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to complete these games that just dropped. I just want to talk about some games quick. Who here played Resident Evil 7?
I did.
Hell no.
Yo.
Hell yes.
I'm like 4 hours.
Nick scared of Resident Evil, bro.
Yeah.
They had a Resident Evil thing set up at PAX as a 45-minute experience. Nick scared to go in there.
I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't going in there, bro. They were trying to make me go. I'm not.
Yo, Nick, you're on full bitch mode. I lie.
I'm sorry.
We might have to change your title, brother, from the king of indies to the king of sissies.
Nah, I'm sorry, dog. Y'all not gonna give me no VR experience with no demons flying at me and stuff.
Bro, I can't even front. I was moving like a total bitch. My first live stream, that live stream, that game. Cause I just don't like first person horror games that like purposely have like these crazy kind of jump scares. And unlike a lot of people, I didn't play none of the betas and shit, like all those demos. I mean, I didn't barely watch any footage, but like the few shit that I see used like really creep me out. But like I've actually beat Resident Evil 7, and I must say, the game is fucking fantastic. It's a great game.
Nice.
The more you play, like the further you get in the game, it becomes more of like an action shooter a little bit.
You get desensitized.
Yeah, it's not really desensitized. It's just I feel like it becomes more. You know what's really creepy about Resident Evil is like the family members. Like after that, and you're like really just killing more monsters and shit. Like it's really not that scary. And basically, one thing I'll say about the game is there's not too much different enemy types. You're finding really like the same kind of people, so you just don't have that fear anymore of them. Rand, I know you beat Resident Evil 7. What did you think of the game?
Dude, I loved the game. I played it 4 times. I beat it 4 times.
Damn.
Yo,
I love it.
You mad?
How long was this game? It was like 6-hour game.
Well, first time it took me 10 and a half hours, and then speed run on easy took me 3, and then Madhouse difficulty took me 6, and then speed run on easy with infinite ammo took me like 2.5.
Oh yeah. You can speed run that game after. Like right now, if I were to replay it, I know I could beat it much faster because I know where
it's a very linear game. But that first experience, that first playthrough, was
because you need to find
phenomenal.
all the shit. Yeah, you need to know where all the the things you need to progress. Now that I know all of that shit, I know I could fly through the game real quick.
Y'all crazy. Y'all don't have nightmares? Y'all don't have nightmares?
I beat Outlast on Insane without using the camera.
Wow.
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah, Rand is crazy, bro. But Rand, like up to the lady, like I swear that was like the scariest part. Like when you fought the other guy, what's his name again? Shit.
The first Jack?
Not Jack. The other guy, the one that takes you through like the clown.
Lucas?
And
Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas. Yeah. When you get to his section, it's really not that scary at all. Like
I felt like the first 2/3 of the game were like amazing. Like I would give the first 2/3 like a 9. Like it was that good.
Yeah, when you get into
when you're in that house and like surrounding areas, it's so good. But when you leave and go to the other place, it kind of stumbles and like falls a little bit. In my opinion, it's not as good anymore.
Like it's like the beginning parts are like truly scary. So for me, I found like someone who's like doesn't play these type of games. I actually found like the beginning was like really really scary. BG, so when are you gonna fucking play this game, man?
When I get to it. Like here's the thing with me, man. I can't play more than one game at a time. I hate it. Like I don't know how it's not that I can't do it. It bothers me. Like I have some type of OCD that like
you gotta finish one before you
it
move on.
takes me out of the game. Like if I would have, you can't go to from Resident Evil to fucking Gravity Rush.
That's what I was doing. But I stopped
like
Gravity Rush. Though.
It's like watching Cartoon Network than watching a fucking like horror movie. It just doesn't mesh with me well.
I actually
so
used to do that so I don't have nightmares. But anyway.
I would. So that's why I can't like play more than one game at a time. I've tried it and I'm like, nah, I gotta finish this game first. So whenever I finish this game, and then I'm probably gonna go to the, it might not even be Resident Evil next. I might go to Yakuza, and then after I beat Yakuza, I'll go to Resident Evil. I just gotta play one game at a time. So I don't know.
Yeah, so Nick is a total bitch. He ain't playing that. Puerto Rock, yo. You getting Resident Evil, or you already played that, beat that?
Nah, I haven't played it yet. I'm the same way. I'm trying to get through this backlog.
Okay.
I can't double dabble from one game to another. I gotta play
you, man. There's so much coming out, man.
I gotta beat it. And right now, my priority, believe it or not, is Neo and Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes.
I'm trying to beat my backlog. I got those two pre-ordered, so I'm trying to go through what I got now. But I'm definitely gonna go back. In fact, like I'm trying to muffle your conversations because I don't want to spoil for me.
We will.
But it's just a lot, and it's not even so much the money; it's the time. It's like there's just so many comes out. I'm like, man.
This first quarter is actually packed with a lot of games. If you're a multi-console, player, like it's actually really packed with a lot of games. Jack, you plan on getting Resident Evil, or is too much pixels for you, bro?
I want to see Jack get the platinum in it. Come on, Jack.
I mean, I've been thinking about it. Honestly, I don't know, man.
What do you mean? It doesn't look good to you though at all?
It look cool. It look cool. I got tunnel vision, bro. It's this game called Horizon. I can't take my mind off of it.
It's a good thing Horizon doesn't come out for another month. You got time.
That's what I'm saying though. It's got to the point where like when it's a game that I really want coming out, I don't even be caring. Like I don't know, bro. It's weird, but I mean, it looks good. It looks good.
What's gotten me really wanting to play it because people have like I actually get upset about certain things people say. Like I heard a man say that it's better than Resident Evil 4. I was ready to jump.
Yeah, people have been saying
I don't know about that.
I was ready to jump. When I say I thought I was about to jump in.
Let me say this.
I have not played it, and I know it's not better than Resident Evil.
BG. Let me say this. Look, it could have. You could factor in when he played Resident Evil 4, because honestly, I played Resident Evil 4 only last year. That was the first time I actually played through the game, and the game was cool, was all right. People consider that game a masterpiece. Maybe I didn't play it at the time, right? So maybe I don't know. I haven't seen it in all its glory back then. Back then, it was a top of the line graphics, I'm guessing, and all of that shit. So probably back then it was probably scary as fuck too. But when I played Resident Evil 4, like it wasn't scary to me, you know what I'm saying, and it was just all right. You know what I'm saying? Like it was definitely good.
Resident Evil 4 was like when I played that game, like even now, that's like almost as perfect as a game that you can possibly make. That's
are you serious?
I have never played Resident Evil 4.
Almost one of the most perfect games ever made in life.
I think you're a little bit hyping it a little bit.
No.
I played it recently.
One of the most perfect games ever made in life, dog. I bought that game I bought that game on every platform it's been on, every single one from the GameCube. That's how much I love that game.
Dog, I played it. It was good, but I'm just saying, like, I don't see this crazy masterpiece thing though.
Well, you had to play it at the time.
Maybe I had to play it at the time. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'm saying this, and I feel this way because I didn't play it at the time, and I only played it last year. That I feel this way. But Resident Evil 7 is really good though. You should definitely check it out. Stop sleeping on it, bro.
Yeah, but people need to stop disrespecting Resident Evil 4 and 2.
3 is the best Resident Evil. Facts.
Oh, hell no.
Resident Evil 3 was lit. What y'all talking about?
At least say 2, but damn, 3.
I like 2 and 3. I like 3 the best, though.
No, you good.
Resident Evil 7 is more like Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, it is.
In my opinion, it doesn't really have any resemblance to Resident Evil 4. That's why it's tough to say. It's like, what's better, Resident Evil 7 or 4? It's like, well, they're two completely different type of games.
Mm-hmm.
It has more in common with the early Resident Evils.
And The other thing is like I automatically like first person games less than third person. Automatically, right off the bat.
Me too. Yeah.
Like that's the way I am. If I think a game is a 9 in first person, it's automatically a 9.5 in third person to me. Like first person is always a lower score for me. I'm sorry. I hate it.
You prefer third person games. Like I feel like I'm the same way. I feel like the same way. Like I kind of gravitate towards like third person, like story, action, adventure. Like I feel like those are my favorite types of games. Like Horizon, the Ninja Gaiden, shit like that. I just love it. I just love shit like that.
When it comes to horror, I'm first person all day.
Yeah, like, first person. Like I feel like
scares me more than first person horror.
When it comes to horror, I feel like first person is definitely more scarier than third person. No, third person, I feel like I wouldn't be bitching around in Resident Evil like that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like first person in most things, especially even in horror, because like for example, I don't know how Resident Evil 7 is, but you can't see yourself get executed in most of these games. Like imagine Resident Evil, like the third person ones, you can't see your head get cut off.
Well, I don't want to. Actually, I'm not gonna spoil anything because I know the chat's gonna come clutch at me.
I don't know. I haven't played yet, but I just think like the experience is more visceral in third person.
No, I feel like the thing with first person, like it just really, like it really captures the essence better for me. You know, especially in Resident Evil and certain things happen in the game, and I'm not really trying to like talk about it a little bit and shit. So people say I spoiled the game, but like certain shit happens that I feel like. If that same scene were to happen in third person, it wouldn't be, you know, such a big impact. You know what I'm saying? Because you put yourself like the first person perspective puts you in that kind of like, you know, that's you. You know what I'm trying to say?
It works well with horror.
It works well. Like no, like if BG plays the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. When he does fucking play the game, you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Resident Evil, super dope game. A few games got announced. Dirt 4. I don't know. Well, I know BG don't care about that driving shit because he could just go outside, right?
Yeah, he got a Lamborghini.
You got a
Lambo.
He could go dirt racing and shit. You know,
driving game number 85 is coming out. Cool story.
So Dirt 4, and apparently, I don't know if there's any Skate fans in the chat or up in here, but apparently that got teased a little bit. Skate 4. Which
I used to love Skate.
Yeah, the first one was Heat. Yeah, I remember played that first one was Heat. Yo.
Yeah, my nephew been waiting for Skate 4 for years. He's gonna be hyped when he hear about this.
Y'all heard that rumor about that new Sony game they was talking about today?
Yeah.
What new Sonic again? Isn't that
no Sony PlayStation?
Oh shit! What is that?
They talking about?
It's called Hunt. Yeah, like the A upside down.
I thought there was a code name for the the commercial they were shooting for it though.
I don't know. Somebody said it was a game. I don't know.
Yeah,
the person that said it'd be wrong about a lot of shit.
What's the code name? Hunt?
Oh.
I think it's called Hunt. I might be mispronouncing it, but
yeah, I think I've seen some shit like that on Twitter, but I'm not too sure what's that all about. Also, we got some more information and more gameplay footage of Horizon Zero Dawn. How's this game looking?
My
Brandon, Brandon, we haven't heard from you in a while. How's Horizon looking?
The game looks pretty damn good, but that voice acting.
I do, yeah.
What's wrong with that, man?
We definitely got to talk about that shit.
I didn't have a problem.
I like the voice acting. It was the face animations that I think were.
Yeah, the voice acting wasn't bad, but it's just like how the guy, the animations, how the guy was moving in that one particular scene looked kind of fucked up.
We got to talk about this. All right, we got to talk about this. Because if you play any huge open world game like a Fallout type game, when you do the side missions, that's how they mouth move.
Yeah.
But when you do the main missions on Horizon, the voice, the lip syncing, I'm praying to the gaming gods. BG in here.
Because that shit look like Technomancer, fam.
Yeah, like that's because it's the side missions. They ain't showing the main.
Yeah, because the main missions are usually mocapped and the side missions are probably keyframed. So that's gonna happen.
That one tweet that we seen with that little clip, but like that section was just really bad this show because just how the guy was moving, his animation, how he had his hands on his head, and his voice, how it just didn't fit in right. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole part and how he sounds and like the emotion that he's trying to convey. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it just didn't fit in with like what the character model was doing. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it just didn't fit in right. But like I'm just hoping you're right. Like it's just limited to the side quests that just might be a little like kind of fucked up.
But that game got a lot of side quests though, so you got to get used to seeing that.
Yo, like I'm actually surprised how RPG this game is, you know what I'm saying? It seems like it's very RPG-esque, you know what I'm saying?
Like bad voice acting doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's gonna ruin the game. You know, the gameplay looks fire. You know what I'm saying?
No, like I'm just saying, facial bad facial animations bother me more than bad voice acting. I can deal with bad voice acting.
Yeah.
But if the facial animations just look crazy, then that's my problem. And I didn't.
It just didn't match up to me. Like if you watch that little snippet, it just didn't match up. You know what I'm saying? Like how the guy was, his emotion that he was conveying, and the facial looked kind of bland. Like
somebody sent me that video. I didn't see that video.
Yeah, I'm gonna tag it. I'm gonna tag it.
I got money riding on this game, dude.
What do you mean?
No, it looks good.
What do you mean?
What you got, Ray?
Someone bet me that the game would be over 90 Metacritic.
No,
and
way,
I was
no
like,
way.
well, no, here's so this bet. So he said to me,
that's crazy.
So he said to me, he's like, this game is going to be Uncharted 4 level, and I'm like,
oh no,
no
like, so
way,
what, like 93.
no.
He's like, so he's like, I'll give you. I'm like, listen, like,
why are y'all saying no? Sony is pretty much.
It's a possibility.
Stop, BG, bro. This
so
game
I the 3 points to 90. So if it's a 90 and above.
I'm gonna say this right now.
$60 or a new game.
Let's add to that bet right now, bro. Look,
why are y'all making it seem like 90 is like?
Because if you look at Metacritic, the games there's like three games that get 90 this whole gen.
I don't know how y'all look at that game and think like it'll be so hard.
Okay,
to get a 90.
No way.
Everybody that's played it I haven't heard anything negative about it yet.
Everybody that's played that game has said it's phenomenal. Like
I haven't heard anything bad thing about it.
Like.
And they haven't played the main story missions yet either.
I just don't see it. Like
I don't know how you don't see it.
The only reason why I said that just because of Guerrilla Games track record. That's the only reason.
It's a Guerrilla Games.
They changed, bro.
I took the bet just because you had to. Like I'd take the bet against that for any game that wasn't Uncharted.
It's
like
gonna be
90
good,
Metacritic, I'd be like, no.
Yeah, not Uncharted level.
It's gonna be hard to get a 90, but it's
what
possible.
do you mean by Uncharted level? That's what I'm.
He said Uncharted. He said it would score the same as Uncharted. So 93 on Metacritic.
I'm not saying this game's gonna review bad, but I'll be surprised if it hit 90 plus.
It's gonna be a high 8. I think it's gonna be a high 8.
It's gonna be close. I feel like 89.
No, I think it'll definitely be like an 88 at least. But
at least 88.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's gonna be
then I win the game.
I agree with that.
And my Ghost Recon is purchased. Then there we go.
I don't think a 90 is unattainable at all. I don't think that would be like.
I'm just saying I'll be surprised. That one I'm just saying I'll be surprised.
I would say this. If this was another Guerrilla first-person shooter, then yeah, it'd be hard.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
But this gen, there isn't a lot of RPGs this gen. If you know,
that's facts.
Would you have taken the same bet? If somebody came to you and said if it's a 90 or below, you win $60, would you have taken?
No, I wouldn't have.
I would take it.
I would take that bet. I would take that bet.
If it was a Horizon, if it was like Days Gone, I'd take that bet.
Yeah. I bet you Zelda hit 90.
I like Fabio.
Gone hitting 90 than Horizon?
No, I'm saying I would say Days Gone wouldn't hit 90.
Yo, BG, let's have a bet right now. Let's have a bet.
BG,
let's have a bet right now.
Hey, BG, take the bet, fam. Take the bet.
Zelda is gonna score higher than Horizon. Let's make this bet.
No.
First of all, let me say this about this, right?
I would take that.
That's not fair.
Take that bet. Take this bet right now.
Let me say, first of all, Zelda. Listen, we all know Nintendo games are rated on a different scale. Can we admit this?
Facts.
Can we
Excuses.
They rated on the curve. That's true.
Rand, am I lying?
No. There's definitely a lot of love for Nintendo games.
Like anybody who doesn't see that is in denial. Listen,
anyone who doesn't see Xbox media bias.
Look at any Nintendo first.
So media bias is real then.
Look at any Nintendo first party game, right? Then look at another game just like it. They will criticize and harp on things that are missing from other games, and there will be no sight of those things in a Nintendo game, and they'll like take off like 5 points.
Wait, BG,
every single time.
So you said media bias does exist? Is that what you're saying right now? Are you confirming this, sir?
It's not.
I will not confirm
Basically, it is media bias.
You got nostalgia fucking for Nintendo.
That's not what I'm saying. It is. It's with Nintendo. They're on a softer rating scale. That's fact, bro.
Why is that? They feel sorry for him.
Bias, man.
Bro, we see it all. Like, yo,
that's true though. That's true.
Stop it. Nintendo games got bad. First party Nintendo games have got
games.
No. Look,
are like almost the same. Like I'm talking about, like from Donkey Kong to Donkey Kong, Zelda to Zelda. There is a few things changed, but there's not drastic. And it's like they rated on the same scale versus other games where if other games were to do the virtually the same thing, they would get like automatically 2
What?
points off
Yo,
of that
Call
shit.
of Duty like has like a steady, nice Metacritic almost all the time, and their games are basically all the damn same. What are you talking about?
Call of Duty is another one too, though, that they let slide a lot. But
I swear,
Nintendo get passes on their rating.
I swear to God, IGN gives Call of Duty like the same score every iteration. Like it's
and
always
that's
around the same ballpark.
IGN. Other like aggregately, like the Call of Duties get scored up and down. When you
I gotta check the Metacritic for
everybody.
It's been on a decline though. Call of Duty's definitely been on a decline.
Or like so the scores are getting lowered. Like if you go and check, like they're always getting lower and lower.
Like the Infinite Warfares are like a 77 right now.
Yeah, on Metacritic,
3 was at an 81.
Okay, I see.
Listen, bro, like I already made a video. I said I wouldn't be surprised if Horizon sells more, but Zelda is rated higher.
Okay, this is my prediction. This is my prediction. Zelda's gonna get rated higher, and I feel like it's gonna have a better debut than Horizon.
Yeah, and what y'all not realizing is like these Nintendo games don't keep up with the times, but like the media changes their standard of how they rate games. So that's what it has.
I hear what you're trying to say because like I feel like Horizon's gonna be compared to Witcher 3 a lot more than Zelda will be, and Zelda's gonna get a lot of passes. Like
Horizon is what like the gaming media wants right now. Like that's what they're looking for. Like people are saying like this is like a real next gen game, versus people are not really saying that about Zelda so much. Like let's be real.
Nah, the hype for Zelda's unreal though. The hype for Zelda is true. It's the truth though. Yo, you already know that attach rate's gonna be high as fuck. BG.
Yo,
I don't know one person who's not buying a Switch with Zelda. That attach rate's gonna be fucking huge.
I had heard Sony and Gorilla 2 weeks ago had a meeting to discuss delaying Horizon to April.
What?
Really? Mm-hmm.
Scared of the Switch?
They decided to keep the date because they were afraid Switch would take the steam out of their.
But I'm telling you that attach rate's gonna be ridiculous though.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do to the current PlayStation owners. Like Switch release ain't gonna stop.
They weren't talking. They were talking about media coverage and stuff. Because Switch comes out that week. And you
guys are denying it's a big game.
They were worried that
Switch
was going to overshadow Horizon, so they had talked about delaying the game till April, but they decided not to.
It's about like they release Horizon, and then they want Horizon to keep that spotlight. So it's not like they're necessarily afraid of a fucking Nintendo game like Zelda. It's the fact that after our game comes out, the week after, Zelda is obviously gonna be getting all the media coverage. So
it's gonna be a big game. You gotta call it what it is. It's a big game.
I think it wouldn't be as bad if the Switch wasn't.
But what y'all need to realize is Nintendo games aren't getting more popular; they're getting less popular every fucking year.
Facts.
That's fact. Look at the sale of all the Nintendo games. Nintendo games have only been getting less popular. Every single one. Look it up.
I don't know, man.
Okay, BG, let me ask you this question: If Zelda released on the PS4,
more than Horizon.
What would sell more? The Zelda on the PS4 or Horizon on PS4?
I would still think Horizon, honestly.
Oh, you're high. You're high as fuck. You're high as fuck. You're high as fuck.
How do you realize like games like Mario Kart and Smash used to sell like 10, like what was it, 10 over 10 million easily?
If Zelda debuted the same day, the first Zelda ever to hit a PS4 or be multi-plat and debuted the same day as Horizon, it's gonna body the fuck out of Horizon.
I was still about Horizon.
Nah,
man, fuck Zelda.
I choose Horizon too.
I'm so confident if a first Zelda game was gonna debut.
Bro,
multi-platform, same day as Horizon.
I still wouldn't buy it.
If it was on everything, I think it would.
I would say this though: if let's say Breath of the Wild were to debut on PS4, it wouldn't be looking the way it's looking now.
Oh, shots fired!
If you put that Breath of the Wild, I'd be like, okay, I can find that shit on the indie store for $20. Because I now ain't paying $60 for that.
Bro. Nah, you're right. Now on PS4.
You guys are wild.
Yeah, Zelda would sell more. It's gonna be because of curiosity.
I mean, it got name recognition too, though.
Yeah, that's why. Imagine the first debut. Come on, what are you saying? The first debut of this game on a multi-platform, that would be huge.
It would sell like crazy.
It would sell like crazy. I know what BJ's trying to say. It's like Pokemon coming to PS4. It would sell like fucking crazy.
Yo, these Zelda games ain't selling like you think they are no more, man. I'm telling you. All the
If
Nintendo.
it debuted on a PS4, it would. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, if it was multi-platform, it'll do numbers.
It will do numbers. I know you're trying to negate that.
It's gonna do numbers on the Switch. I ain't denying that.
Yeah,
that's the
you
first
know that
time.
attach rate's gonna be fucking crazy. Like I said,
Every
I don't
Switch
know anyone.
will have
Yo,
Zelda attached.
Yeah, that attach rate. I don't know one person who didn't get a Switch and Zelda. That attach rate's gonna be absolutely insane. That's why I say that I feel like the Switch will sell more day one. I'm not saying overall sales, but we'll have a bigger debut like Zelda. We'll have a bigger debut than Horizon. That's why I say that. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I feel like that attach rate's gonna be huge.
I agree.
You know, that's why I say that. I'm not saying the overall, but the debut sales.
What was the Zelda game? One of the Zelda games came out on both the Wii U and the GameCube. That was Twilight Princess that came out on both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twilight. Okay, so that came out on GameCube. I'm looking for
But not the same day. It was delayed. They delayed the game to December.
I'm trying to hold on.
I remember Skyward Sword on the Wii. It didn't sell well originally.
I didn't even buy that shit.
It ended up doing numbers though. I think it sold like 7 million.
Yeah, they need to bring that back. I would play it, but I just didn't get it because I wasn't with the motion controls. At that point, I was like, "Yo, I'm done with swinging my hands and shit."
Like, on the Switch,
real niggas shit. Yo, if they put that shit on the Switch with regular controls, I would actually rock with that game. I'll get it day one because I actually skipped Skyward Sword. I heard it's good too, though. From what people tell me and people say, it's actually good. But I'm not really about the fucking motion controls, yo.
No.
About that shit.
Don't catch me. Don't let me catch you swinging streaming arms, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna be playing arms.
You'll be twirling like a motherfucker on the screen.
You know you're gonna play arms, dog.
Y'all niggas are gonna be roasting the fuck out of me, bro.
You should do it, dog. That'd be funny.
That would be funny, man.
Twilight Princess on the Wii sold like 7.5 million. That's Twilight Princess.
Okay.
Skyward Sword on the Wii sold 4 million.
Okay, that was okay.
Yeah, I think that game dropped at a bad time. I think everyone was like over the Wii when that game dropped. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
feel
people
like
didn't play that Wii.
yeah, at that point when that game dropped, it came out at the worst time because everyone was just done with that. That console. Like people were done with.
Oh, you
it.
mean just the core Nintendo fan base was there?
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? Like I feel like everyone was done with the whole gimmick with the motion controls and all of that. Everyone was just they had their fill with it. So I feel like that game dropped at a bad time to be.
You should have saved it for the Wii U as well.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, you're right. That's actually a good idea. If that shit launched to the Wii U, probably would have done better.
Mario Kart Wii sold 35 million.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Bundled.
Yeah, it was a packing, but it still did.
Those don't count. What I'm looking at, I don't believe this counts bundles.
Nah. I'm pretty
No,
sure
they count the bundles.
They count up bundles. For
Okay.
that, bro.
Either way, Mario Kart on the Wii sold 35 million. What was the one that came out on the Wii U? 8.
Yeah,
That sold 7 million.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not bad. That attach rate's even good though. If you just look at the attach rate, that attach rate's actually
the attach rate
is excellent.
They're selling less. I could do this all day with probably every Nintendo IP.
Yeah, that attach rate though. That's that attach rate.
I mean, the Wii U was a fucking failure.
Well, look at
they only sell like 13 million Wii U, so like
yeah, and you have 8 million Mario Karts. That's fucking sick. Then at least everyone who almost bought a Wii U has the game. Yo, that's actually pretty sick to me. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to put in that kind of perspective, right? Like how much consoles are out too.
yeah, because I mean they sold 100 million Wii's.
This time.
So we're gonna see. The Switch gonna come out. We're gonna see what it's gonna do.
Ew.
Jack is not fucking with the Switch, man.
Yo, bro, every time a nigga types ill on Twitter, I always read it in Jack Moon's voice. This is a habit. I'm like, ill.
I'm saying, man, yo, listen. All I'm saying is don't be surprised if it happens. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we're gonna see. Everything's gonna come to pass. We're gonna live to see all of this shit. Hopefully, we're gonna live to see the Scorpio drop, see what it does, see what the Switch does. BG, I already screenshotted you saying the Switch is a failure. For some reason, it
is a fit, bro. It's not. It's a failure.
For some reason, I feel like it's going. I don't know. I feel like
it's not gonna go outsell the Xbox. So I ain't trying to hear it.
Yo, I feel like you think it's gonna do better than the. Let me ask you, since you're here, you think it's gonna do better than the Wii U?
Oh,
maybe.
You'd have to, wouldn't it?
No. Give me a definite answer.
If it sells better than the Wii U, that's not a success to me, though.
Okay, I know.
It literally has to sell better than the
Yeah,
Wii.
it got to.
Yeah, like if it sells worse, then holy shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be definitely. But no way in hell it's selling worse. Like,
I don't even think
I got a couple of questions before we hop off this. Look, Nintendo is supposed to ship. What did they say? Was it 10 million Nintendo Switches? Someone who
10 million.
10 million
it's
Nintendo Switches. No, but 10 million in 3 years. I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the 2020 thing?
Yeah, yeah. What was that 2020 shit
It was
all
like
about?
40 million.
Oh,
Yeah,
they only
40 million.
Never.
Okay,
Never.
so what do you think the Switch is gonna sell in 3 years' time? That's what I want to hear. Everybody's predictions. That's all I want to know.
my gosh.
What was the Wii U at 3 years?
I think it was like not even 10 million.
So BG,
Yeah,
I want to hear
3
from
years,
BG. I actually want to hear what he says. BG, what do you think the Switch is gonna do in 3 years on the market? What do you think they're gonna be at?
If they're lucky, 15 million. If they're lucky.
Okay, so you're saying I'm gonna write it down. You're writing 15. 15.
You gonna hold on this paper for 3 years, bro?
No, yeah, I'm gonna keep this shit. I'm gonna keep.
You gonna put it in a time capsule?
I'm gonna have a damn child by then, probably.
Yo,
He's gonna put
this time, bro. This nigga said,
you better tattoo that on your arm or
I
something.
know, right? God damn.
He said 15 million. Right
Put
there.
it in
we're gonna pull back the archives and have a good laugh about this.
Yes,
It's
indeed.
not going to be more successful than the Xbox One, and at this point, the Xbox One is at 25. So I highly doubt like the Switch is going to be like that close to it.
All right, yo, let's get Rand. What do you think?
It's
in
not
3
selling
years?
more than the Xbox One.
Yo, 3 years time, on some real shit. 3 years time, what do you think the number is gonna be at?
I'm going with
guess.
BG stole my answer, dude. I was going to say 15.
15. All right. Porter Rock, what do you think?
About the same number, 15 to 17 window.
Wow, 3 years. Wow. Nick Demus, what do you think?
What the Wii U sold in 3 years again?
I don't know.
9.
Like 9?
If that.
I give this thing 12 million.
You give it 12. Oh my god.
Which it is.
Man, y'all taking them shots.
I'm not taking shots. I'm not taking shots because I literally have no faith in the games that they're gonna bring out. I don't think they're gonna bring out the games like that.
All right, yo, Jack, what do you think it's gonna be at?
I'm gonna say a high number, and I know this Nintendo gonna disappoint me. I'm gonna say 19, bro.
You gonna say 19?
That's not too bad.
Wow.
They gonna disappoint me, bro.
J-Man, what up?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I was gonna say 19, 20, but I think that's where it's gonna max out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean max out? Like no one's
It's
gonna want it
done.
anymore?
It's done after that.
You guys have a lot of faith. Y'all watch history?
No, I'm not saying shit. I didn't say anything. I just want to see where everyone's mind is at right now. Yo, Faye, what do you think is going to do in 3 years time, bro?
Deuce. I call it 22.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
22.
Wait a minute.
Wow. We're definitely gonna pull up this in the archives. Yo, have a good laugh. Yo, Brandon, what do you think about this shit, bro? What do you think it's gonna do in 3 years time, bro? The Switch.
I think it's gonna do about 25, just because.
Hey,
listen, hear me out.
You guys are crazy, man.
Next year, when they discontinue the 3DS, all those games that released on 3DS are coming to the Switch. So I think once they put that production there,
I have no faith in them.
Yo, mark it down, Yo, press start. Kofi says 25 mil, bro.
they did 60 million 3DSs, 60 million 3DSs. So I
25 yes in 3 years. They're gonna do it because the fact that this is a fucking, and my reason saying that because this is a portable and a handheld as well. That's what my reason is.
So let's go back with the 3DS. Remember when the 3DS launched at $250, Nintendo had to drop that price within 6 months.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. The 3DS started off bad. It didn't start off good at all. But like it picked up traction when they started dropping fire games and the price dropped.
And here's another thing with the Switch. Switch is trying to capitalize on something that's already established, which is the tablet market.
Not really. It's a handheld. Not really. Why do people call this shit a tablet, bro?
It's a tablet.
They're going after their same
It's
customer.
definitely a tablet.
But
It's two
kids
different-
already
it
have
feels
tablets. The kids aren't like, oh, I want to play Zelda with triple FSA. The kids don't think like that.
Dog, the Switch is definitely gonna have a price drop within 3 years time. I think it's gonna touch 25, bro. In 3 years time.
Pokemon dropping on there, that shit gonna sell like crazy.
Yeah, niggas are taking that shit for granted, fame, man.
How many Pokemon games did they sell last holiday season?
Here's another thing to consider.
People are taking that for granted, bro.
Where are the mass games gonna come from? Nintendo's first party is not that big to push out 8 to 10, exclusives a year. They're not that big to do that. And most of the industry is not going to support this.
We have to see it.
You might get like Archie the game and shit like that.
Dude, the Titanfall dead laughed if they were like gonna put Titanfall 2. You're gonna put Titanfall 2 on the Nintendo and he's like seriously laughed.
And keep in mind,
But the 3DS has good third party support though. So why is no one like factored in that? Like the 3DS has pretty good third party support. A lot of third party exclusives on the 3DS though.
Because most people think of the Switch as the successor to the Wii U, not the successor to the 3DS.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
That's how Nintendo's promoting it.
Yes.
When was the last time anybody had a podcast to talk about the 3DS for 2 hours?
Wow.
I mean, not insulting it. Yeah, people play it, but I'm not gonna have podcasts and conversations about 3DS games for 2 hours. The reason why we're talking about the Switch is because we're treating it like a console. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I was talking about the Switch because it's Nintendo's new device, bro. That's what I'm talking about. The Switch,
Hey, y'all assuming that this handheld, they're the same ones that created the handheld games for them. Like it's not going to be the same process when they're creating it for a console.
We're gonna see. You know,
that is true. That is true.
We're gonna wait and see what happens, man. Because even after that, what's it called? There might be a lot of cross games between the Switch and the 3DS too. I don't even know what's gonna happen, but like we're gonna see, yo. Everyone put out their guesses. This shit's in the archives, and yo, I'm gonna have to end the podcast because
matter of fact, lower mine down to like 13 million.
Yo, mark it down, yo. Let's mark
Record
it down.
that. Record that.
Yo, BG, let's since this one's coming up
Xbox,
sooner.
record that.
So what do y'all think they do first year numbers then?
Yo, since this shit's coming sooner, yo, BG, what do you think about the Zelda versus Horizon? Who's gonna have a bigger debut? Opening thing.
Like, listen, man. I've been looking at a lot of numbers and statistics. Right now, Horizon has more pre-orders, which don't mean nothing. Like, I can't go by pre-orders. I don't think they really mean nothing. But you can use it as like a small little gauge. It might mean like a little.
All right, so first week sales. What do you think Horizon's doing? Yo? Like, what do you?
1.5 easy. I don't see no reason.
Okay.
1.5 easy first week.
Jesus Christ.
There's no reason it shouldn't be able to.
Yo, if Horizon does 1.5 first week, I'll be amazed.
That would be amazing for a new IP.
Yeah, I'll be amazed. I would actually be amazed if that's true.
Look how huge the PS4 fan base is. This is at 54 million.
That's what. Yeah, like.
I don't think,
that's not really. It really goes with interest, right? I know
Yeah,
that
it depends on
interest, right? Look at Gravity Rush, and you can say the same shit about all these other games.
I don't think that game appealing to casual gamers though.
That's what I'm trying to say. It all goes aside with like the interest, like is the general, like how's the general view of the game? You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. But right now,
Go ahead.
But right now, Horizon's not being looked at like Gravity Rush. Right now, people are looking at Horizon like the super big IP, like the new IP.
Yeah, it's definitely the promo that's getting is huge.
God of War, the
promos that's huge. So
When I first started trailer this game, it made me buy my PS4.
There you go.
Yeah, the promo is getting is definitely huge. So like honestly, 1.5, I'll be really impressed if it did 1.5.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go on the line and say this. With all the anticipation this game has, it being on a 50+ million install base, it being like one of the most, I think is under God of War, like as far as the most watched games that were at E3. If this don't sell 1.5 million in the first, it's a failure, in my opinion.
Ooh,
that's an L to you.
Okay,
that's a failure. Like, look, 1.5. If you can't sell 1.5, being one of the most watched recently revealed games on a 50 million install, that's a failure easily.
Oh yeah,
that's a failure.
All right, yo, we gonna end it on this note because I got to bounce, yo.
Xbox record.
Kofi late for his date.
Yo, chill. Yo, we're gonna put this in the archives and return to this. So we're gonna do our outros real quick. Yo, BG.
Yo, you already know Weapon Wheel podcast Saturdays 6 p.m. We gonna see what happens in a few weeks, but I'm just saying, like, don't be surprised. History changing. It ain't what it used to be.
All right, Rad.
Yo, it's Randall Thor 19, the man with a million. Thanks for having me on again. I do have a podcast that I'm about to start, an hour and 50 minutes, my own TXR podcast.
Back to back. Respect for coming, man.
I haven't done back-to-back podcasts in a long time, but thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, Puerto Rock.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I have my podcast, 60 Frames No Lag, every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
I have a podcast.
Everybody got a podcast.
How you got a podcast, 60 Frames No Lag, when PS4 have no fucking 60 frames per second games out here, bro?
Because I do that shit on PC. That's why.
Oh, okay, I feel you. I feel you. I rate that. I do that shit on PC too. Yo, Nicodemus, say what up.
Yo, it's Nicodemus, the king of indies. Check me on tickgn.com and cancel your Switch pre-orders.
Yo, shut up.
There you go.
Yo, don't listen to this fuck boy Nicodemus, bro.
Cancel them. No games.
Jack.
Only Zelda.
Yo, Jack, say your outro, homie.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Make sure y'all go check out my last video I just put up. I made the jump, bro. The deed has been done. And yeah, man, check me out.
J Main.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? J Main. Thank you for checking out the podcast today. A lot of hot takes got my head spinning right now. All these damn predictions. But yeah, man, I will check y'all out in a couple weeks, man. I'm out. Peace.
Fame.
Yo, Fame Entertainment here from TICGN.com. Make sure you guys check out the channel. Also, check out the website. We are giving away a Nintendo Switch. Winner will be announced the Friday after April Fool's.
Yo, BG, sign up for that, bro.
Giveaway ends April 1st. Make sure you guys check out my podcast, the Double XP Podcast, every other Wednesday. 2 Xbox guys, 2 PlayStation guys, and we duke it out. We get it in every 2 months. So make sure you guys check it out with my co-host, Mr. Nicodemus.
2 weeks, 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, fam.
Maybe BG's lucky, might win a Switch. You don't have to get one. Brandon's gonna do your outro.
Yeah, man, it's B Money 101 from the Tick Podcast. We go live 11 p.m. Eastern every Thursday night. And if you haven't done so already, go check out our latest show that features Adam Boyes. We did an interview with him last week, so go check that out.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Take over.
All right, yo, shout out to all the people watching. You know, before you leave, can you drop a like? Really, really appreciate it. You know, we're bringing great gaming discussions up in here, so I really appreciate it. And yeah, man, we'll be back not next week, but the week after. It's a bi-weekly podcast once again. So I'll check you guys out real soon, and yeah, have a good night.